Ah! More meetings. Regil looks slightly more tense than usual. Falai Galassan, I have fairly important news. I will do my best to be brief. The Hell Knight orders have not reacted well to the developments I mentioned in my latest report, specifically regarding the true source of your power. The very notion that we have been cooperating with a weapon forged by Aurilu Vorlesh and Nocticula has caused discontent. The orders have not issued any official edicts, but many chapters and high-ranking knights have been recalled from their assignments and barricaded themselves in one of our outposts. The one you know, in fact. I suggest you go there and resolve the issue between the orders and the Crusaders. This is a matter of importance. What kind of reaction should I expect from the Hell Knights? Any, up to and including a formal declaration of war. Which is why you must go to the outpost and resolve the issue before it develops into open conflict. How could you even think of that reporting this to the orders would be a good idea? Do you really think I could withhold this information from my superiors? Do not degrade me or yourself with such a ridiculous suggestion. Very well, I will go there as soon as possible. Excellent. That is all I had to report, so I will return to my duties and you may attend to your other affairs. Thank you. Falai. The succubus gazes at you despondently. She always speaks quietly, but now her voice is a barely audible whisper. In my dream, a fire destroyed almost everything. The only thing that survived was a table. I've returned to my dream world so many times. The nightmare still lurks there, but I want to understand why this table is so important. Why did it survive the fire? I can't figure out what makes it special. It looks like a simple piece of furniture. It just stands there. What is it supposed to mean? What am I doing now? Is your nightmare still attacking you? Not openly. It still lurks in the shadows, gnawing at my soul from within. It never leaves me alone, but it hasn't tried to fight me again. Would you like to enter your dream again? I don't think that will help. We've already been there together and... No, there must be something else. I must look at it from a different side, but how do you find the other side of a dream? The other side of a dream is called reality. Perhaps this table represents something that you are supposed to do in real life? You might be right! What exactly should I do? Find a table? Buy one? Perhaps I should learn the craft of a carpenter and make one myself? So many possibilities and I don't even know where to begin. Perhaps Desna can help you solve this riddle. But she was the one who asked me to solve it! I don't think she's going to tell me the answer. I must find it myself, but how? Well, where did this table come from? Where did it come from? Harushale considers her question. She taps her lips thoughtfully. Oh, I remember now. There was a loaf of bread on that table. That was Anevia's dream, remember? She said she wanted to learn how to bake. The bread went up in flames along with the other fragments of her dream, but the table remained. If this table came from Anevia's dream, perhaps you should talk to her. I've been living among mortals for a while now, but there's still so much I don't understand about your kind. How you live, what you dream about. You're right, we should ask Anevia. It is part of her dream, after all. That's a good idea, but... The succubus shifts from foot to foot reluctantly. Could you please talk to her instead? I don't even know how to begin a conversation like this. Is it too It is so personal. Please ask her, and I will stay nearby. Commander! The Inquisitor greets you with a bow. I am sincerely gladdened by your return, and I was delighted to hear of your recent victories. It is a shame that my duty has kept me away from the front line. I would like to take up a place in the ranks of your Crusaders. And perhaps I will still have a chance to do so, but before that happens, we must address another issue. I suppose you have already guessed what has brought me here. We parted ways after the discovery we made at Count Arende's estate. You and I both know that the Count became a conduit for an unknown entity, which I call the Other. I retreated to Nerosian, and then we went beyond Mendev's borders, looking for mentions of such entities and ways to fight them. And now that my search has borne fruit, I am ready to tell you about it. We're just getting all the quests right now. Why did your search take so long? Because we are dealing with a rare phenomenon, a true anomaly. The Mendev Inquisition has amassed substantial experience in fighting demons, but here we are up against something completely different. I had to trawl through our archives searching for cases that seemed in any way similar. I sent inquiries to friendly temples, and reached out beyond our nation's borders to experts on the unknown. It was dull and painstaking work, but it was necessary. So then what have you learned about the other? I must be honest, I still don't know what it is. However, I managed to find some evidence of similar incidents. Individuals who in a horrible moment of their life became a gateway for an unknown entity. The most curious part is that all these cases appear almost sequential. They happened in various corners of Golarion, but no two incidents ever occurred at the same time. This leads me to think that we are dealing with a single entity, one that has been secretly present in our world for a long time, merely changing its gateways on occasion. While I do not know what this entity is, I managed to find something of great value. A Varisian arcanist managed to pick up the trail of the other and invented a ritual to weaken and bind it. She died under very suspicious circumstances. Her decapitated body was found in her laboratory. Her head was never found. But her notes survived, including the description of the ritual. I have discussed it with several highly esteemed experts in magic, and I am inclined to consider this a reliable weapon. We can use the ritual to lure the entity out, bind it, and probably exterminate it. But to do that, I'll need your assistance, Commander. What do we need to do? We must carefully prepare the ritual and then bring Count Arende to the designated location. The ritual will lure out the other, weaken its connection with the Count, and bind its essence to our world like an anchor. The last part is especially important. All the evidence indicates that while the gateway is active, the other can travel freely between the material plane and some unknown space that lies beyond. If we fail to bind the other with the ritual, it will either escape or, in the worst-case scenario, drag us into its realm. Hence, we must lure it out, and then, I suppose, defeat it. There is one more issue. Aside from the fact that we'll have to fight this incredibly powerful and horrifying creature, the other's suspicion must not be aroused until the very last moment. And this means that the Count must know nothing as well. The best course of action would be to take the Count to the designated location without telling him the reason for the journey. Then we must frighten him, and make it appear that his life is in danger. The other will believe that its gateway is in peril, and then, I hope, it will show up to protect it. The ritual circle will work as a trap, but it is crucial, and I stress this, that we convince the entity that we know nothing of its existence, that it is Dayrin who is in danger, not the entity itself. Otherwise, there is no knowing what may happen, and I don't want to give the adversary any chance to outmaneuver us. Why do you think that the other will appear to protect Dayrin? The Count has been in danger many times before, and nothing special has ever happened. You have a special connection with your companions, Commander. You shared part of your mythic powers with them. They journeyed through the abyss with you and survived to tell the tale. I believe the other understands this. It must also understand how dangerous it would be if you were to become not a benefactor, but an enemy to its gateway. I am certain that it will react to a threat coming from you as opposed to ordinary encounters with demons and cultists. Ah. How dangerous is it? It is extremely dangerous, which is why I have come to you with this. All the evidence I've collected on the other, in particular the list of its victims, which include powerful demons and strong mortal mages, make me certain that we are dealing with something extraordinary here. It is stronger and more dangerous than Baelors and other generals of the Abyss. I also suspect that the oracle powers the Count has developed come from the other. As a rule, only gods, imperial lords, and other extremely powerful beings are capable of granting such abilities. I know no one except for you who could challenge such an entity, so I am asking you to help for the safety of all who dwell on Golarion. However, I believe that we can shore up our strategic position if the other doesn't suspect we're preparing a trap until the very last moment. Even the most dangerous of creatures become more vulnerable when caught off guard. The main thing we must do is to take a methodical approach and stay alert. I think that is within our abilities. Are you sure that this other is hostile toward us? In all this time, it has never tried to attack me. I am certain that this entity is dark and truly evil. The evidence and my instincts as an Inquisitor are undeniable. Wherever the other manifests itself, strange and ominous things begin to happen. In particular, I am positive that it is responsible for all the magically decapitated corpses. The ones that were found at Heaven's Edge after the tragedy, and in Canabras after Dastari's attack. In both places, some of the corpses belonged to civilians and others to demons, and in Canabras, some of the victims were cultists. I am convinced that the other is pursuing some interest of its own, and thus far it has ruthlessly exterminated any who learn of its existence. And now you and I know that it exists. Draw your own conclusions. I'll help you. Thank you. Now let's go over the entire operation once more. I am convinced that we must lure out the other somewhere far from Dresden and other populated areas, to avoid civilian casualties. I have chosen a suitable location within the World Wound. I'll mark it on your map. You must bring the Count there without alerting him to what's about to happen. I assume that another foray into the World Wound will hardly raise his suspicions. I will await you there with the ritual circle prepared. But before we reach the crucial moment, you must make the Count and the other believe that the Count is in danger. I suppose the easiest way to do that would be to tell him that you made a deal with the Mendev Inquisition, and the Count will have to face punishment for his crimes, real or imaginary. I'll find a way to intimidate him, but you must play along. We need to provoke the other to come out to protect its gateway. That's when we finish it off once and for all. This case will be my greatest triumph or my greatest failure. But I firmly believe that it must be done. Remember my words. The other must be convinced that we are threatening the Count and that we know nothing of its existence. The slightest suspicion could prove fatal for us. Until we meet again, Commander, and may the gods be with us. Is that all? Nope, we got more. A pale, ghostly image appears in front of you. You recognize Lathamus the Antiquarian, the scholar you helped some time ago. His translucent form flickers intermittently, and you have difficulty making out his words. Commander, it's Themis. I won't be maintained spell for long. Open the door, treasure room. Please hurry. What door? What are you talking about? The door to the dragon burial ground. The bell, the caves, remember? Did you manage to open the door? Yes. I won't enter without you. Waiting on your help. I'm on my way. I'll be waiting. Please, The vision of Lathamus flickers and fades. So that's something to follow up on. Commander! You look up and see Melissa, the green-eyed fisherwoman from the village of Chili Creek. Her hair is a mess, and her face and clothes are covered in soot. It looks as though she traveled here in a hurry and met with a few dangers along the way. Help! Please help me! He's gone crazy! He'll kill him! Calm down. What happened? Do you remember Jernog, the cleric who came to our village a year ago? The locals weren't very welcoming to him back then. After all, he was a stranger who was preaching about a strange new god. But little by little he became one of us. He went fishing alongside us and he told people stories about the crusade. He told us about meeting you and seeing the queen, and the songs he used to sing. They just made you want to stop and listen. Well, eventually, we became very close. We started to plan a wedding. My brother didn't seem to mind at first, but after we got married, well, that's when he lost it. He became violent. He threatened to hurt us. I tried to talk to him, but... We even thought about leaving the village. But when my brother found out, he lost his mind completely. Markhill is strong and no one else in the village dares to challenge him. It was a miracle that I managed to escape. But my husband is still there. He didn't make it out of the village. I don't know what's happened to him. Help us, please. What caused this change in Markhill's behavior? Melissa looks away and replies softly. Markhill, he really honors the village traditions. We've been worshipping the river for many generations. He was not keen on having the cleric of a foreign god in the village, but he was willing to tolerate Jernog's presence for a while. However, my relationship with Jernog really disappointed Markhill, especially when he discovered that I had begun to worship Erastil too. Oh dear. How did you get here? By some miracle, I guess. Everything is on fire out there and all those monsters... But never mind me. I managed to survive. I made it here in one piece. But I am in serious trouble and I have no one I can turn to for aid. Please help me. You're my only hope. Alright, I'll help you. Thank you. I'll head back to the village. I'll do my best to keep him from flying into a rage. But please hurry. I'm afraid he might do something terrible. And that is all of that. Okay, we had a lot to do. You know what? I am going to go a little bit longer and give everyone their upgrades. Including, first, I want to see Ivu. You're now level 30. I don't know what's changed around here, but... yeah. 2d10 points of sonic damage to everyone in a 30-foot cone. Increases by 2d10 for every mythic rank for the Azada is attained, which means their breath weapon does 10d10 damage. No, wait. 2d10 for every mythic rank. 16... 18d10. That is incredible. You've also got the Aura of Heroism, which is really good. You can only wear light barding. No, you can wear heavy barding. Okay, you're all the way there. That's good. Oh, I didn't mean that. Class. I don't know why it's that on feats, but... yeah, you are extremely good. So you've got a lot of spells now. Break enchantment. You got level 6. You have heal! Oh my god, Aivu, that is perfect! Heal of... wow, that's 6 uses of heal a day. You also have greater dispel magic. And on level 7, you have greater restoration! Oh my god, Aivu, this is incredible! What am I? I'm 16 Azada. Okay. So that's actually going to be a lot of help. So, if this is 1d6 per 3 caster levels, that's 5d6. Okay, so this is actually going to be quite good. Anyway, everyone else needs their Mythic Path levels. You get Improved Critical Falchion. Let's see. You get a Mythic Feat. You got Mythic 2-Weapon Fighting, Destructive Shockwave, Flawless Attacks. Mythic Sneak Attacker isn't that great. I guess I can give you Weapon-Focused Dwarven War Axe. That'll work. Next we have Arushale. What would be good for you? You've got Rapid Shot, Deadly Aim, Flawless Attacks. Weapon-Focused Mythic. That, well... let's go improve your critical. Then we've got Regil. You have... I just realized I sold something I could have given to him. I'm an idiot. Destructive Shockwave isn't going to be the best. Flawless Attacks actually would be good. You do throw out a lot of attacks. That would be a good choice. Alright, you... you've got all the great abundant castings, which is incredible. You got the Mythic Channeling, Mythic Penetration, you've got Toughness. Destructive Shockwave would be a decent choice. Next we've got you. Mythic Weapon Focus. Probably a good choice for you. Yeah, Weapon Focus Claw. I think that'll work. Next we've got Ember. You're gonna go with... You can do Epic Spell Focus on Evocation, which actually sounds like a pretty good idea. Yeah, let's go with that. Then we've got Camellia. Dazzling Display. You don't use Dazzling Display. That's not useful to you. Weapon Specialization isn't a bad choice. Piranha Strike. I think you do actually use that. Yeah, screw it. Mythic Piranha Strike. Then we've got Nenio. You've already got all of those. What would be good here? Spell Focus. Heal Mastery was... Evocation. Evocation. Bonus to save DCs. I'm tempted to actually go for Illusion. Yes. That'll make her weird spell even better. Lan. Deadly aim, improve that more. Flawless attacks, you do fire a lot of shots. Actually, yeah, how many shots do you shoot? 6! 3 of which are... Wow. Okay. And you have a ×4. That is... I mean... Flawless attacks is really good. I think it's worth it to take flawless attacks. Yes. You're going with that. Then we've got Dayron. You need the greater abundant casting. Without a doubt. So, I don't care about the others. Take the greater abundant casting. That is absolutely fantastic. You need that. Alright, Woljif. You got the flawless attacks. Spell penetration isn't a bad idea, but you don't really cast spells. How is your strength? Would destructive shockwave help? Your strength is 0. It wouldn't actually do anything. So, destructive shockwave is pointless for you. I guess I can mythic weapon focus dagger. Seems fine. No. Just in case, spell penetration. And finally, Seelah. You've already got the mythic armor focus, which is really good. Heavy shield is shields AC plus your strength bonus. Flawless attacks. Don't know about that. Weapon focus longsword. I think that's a good choice. And that is all of those. Despite all of these weapons that we have, none of them are actually useful. Leather armor of greater electricity resistance. Oh, robe of fire. That should go to you. Yeah, screw that. Robe of fire. This one is... Suffering elemental damage for the next round. Any spell cast does... If it deals the same kind, deals more damage. You've got... Competence to trickery and competence to athletics and a bonus to attack rolls and attacks of opportunities. You know what? You can keep those. Who else casts damaging spells? I mean, I guess I can give it to you. You get hit by electricity, that's a boost. +3 adamantine full plate. I mean, you have regular full plate. I think I can give this to you. It looks really cool. Leather armor of greater electricity resistance. You're keeping the Trailblazer's armor. This? No, it's not better. I don't think this really would go for anyone. It's not better than anything a lot of these people are wearing. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be using that. As for these... Energy source. Yeah, I'm going to give this to you. You can keep the Righteous Crusader's ring. Why does it say it's a gold dragon one now? That's not what's supposed to happen. It changed. It's not supposed to. I don't know why. Very strange and concerning. That should not have happened. Why did that happen? Okay, that's something that needs to be fixed sometime in the future. Also, there was something there, but I don't know why it's not. Oh, it was the, probably the letter. Oh, and we do have a few spells. Can I give to anyone? Yes. Protection from arrows. Waves of exhaustion. Summon monster 9. Power word kill. Tar pool. And you can learn polar ray. And some of you have some more spells that you can use now. Let me go through those. We didn't actually level up. You can cast more spells. Cure Serious Wounds Mass isn't a bad idea. One more Greater Restoration, and I guess Destruction. Level 8 spells. Stormbolts is useful. Another Cure Critical Wounds. Another Soul Reaver. And I guess Rift of Ruin. And level 9 spells. You definitely need more mass heals. Winds of Vengeance could be useful. Toss an Implosion and a Polar Midnight. Okay, you're fine. You are good on your spells. Nenio! You are good on your spells, and you are good on your spells. Okay, there wasn't actually really much of a change. Okay. And with that, I tell you what, I am going to go ahead... Well, let me do one more thing before I forget.
I'm off.
I think I left a sword in here. I did not leave a sword in here. I think I accidentally sold the sword I was going to give to, Seelah. Well, crap. That is not good. Well, I guess Seelah's gonna be keeping that, that stuff for a bit until I can find her a better sword. I mean, Radiance is still a really good spell, and it would be good for her. But it works great for me, too. So, with that, I am going to go ahead and end this episode here. This has been a long one. I think it may have ended up being a 4-parter. So, yeah. 4-parter episode. I'm sorry for that. But, as you could have seen, a lot of stuff was happening. We have begun Act 5. And with that, I shall end this episode here. Next episode... It's time to deal with the Crusade and speak with all of our companions. And see what's going on in the city. But, that'll be in the next episode. So, until then, I am Chestic44. I'll say name is Fly. That is me. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. And I shall see you all next time.